Welcome back to the channel, Tripping with Retirees. Today the retirees are taking a new route. We are on the N2, then on the R300 and the N1, and we are on our way to Maatjiesfontein and Sutherland. And on the N1, you have to go through the De Toitskloof tunnel. On the other side of the tunnel, we were greeted with the most beautiful snow-capped mountains, the remnants of snow which we had this winter. These mountains were fully covered with snow, and the sunlight has already melted most of it. It's still cold, but these mountains, the very peak of it, is still covered with snow. They're absolutely beautiful. Everybody normally takes a drive out just to view how beautiful these mountains are when they are snow covered. Of course, this cloud cover was just as beautiful. All the different shapes of clouds which were dotted in the sky. The early morning sky with the sun creeping through. It is such a beautiful place to be. And then we reached Maatjiesfontein. So this is coming into Maatjiesfontein. So we are here to see what everybody else comes to see in Maatjiesfontein. Of course, it has some British history with an hotel called the Lord Milner Hotel, which is the main feature in the town. So take a ride with us through the town and enjoy the views. We stopped off at the Transport Museum, where there were many old cars or other forms of transport of many years ago. There were cars which were manufactured in our birth year, so it made us wonder, are we really that old? But yes, the cars were old, we weren't. So yes, let us look at all the modes of transport of many years ago. They were housed in a covered area or in a garage, which was the museum. Okay, fairly well looked after, and of course the sight to look at when you see so many old cars and thinking, how did they even manage to drive on the roads, which was not as modern as we have it today. These cars are housed in an area where they often have functions or weddings, and then they are moved out. But what a beautiful sight to look at. I'm sure our grandparents had cars like these. Sure, some old trains on this, in this museum, all the way down. These trains were fairly well looked after, and we managed to get ourselves into the dining cart of the train, which was quite a nice sight. The window opener of many years ago. Of course, there was no aircon then. And if you are 60 or older, you will remember these buses. We used to jump on these buses after school in the afternoon, which was great fun because it was a matter of jumping off and jumping on. We also saw some old ox wagons parked at the museum in front of the bus. And then there was a roadside petrol filling station. And I see this was quite common because later on we found another. After walking in the town, we stopped at a coffee shop for some refreshment. They had the most divine foodstuffs. And look at this lamp hanging from the ceiling of the coffee shop. Really, really very old. And of course, every town we come to, we take a photo of our favorite four-wheeler. And then it was on our way to Sutherland. So we were in the Karoo. And something really typical of the Karoo, besides the low trees or bush, something else we came across which was unexpected. Besides the beautiful views and everything else, the flowers which were out in full bloom because it was a beautiful day. They were out because the sun was shining and it was hotter than 17 degrees. And of course, another photo of our four-wheeler at another sign. And then the obvious happened. Okay, so we've hit a roadblock. Just like this. Just look how cute this is, man. Oh my word.
Hallo. Kom maar, die gaan. Baie stadig.
Ja, as jy ry so stadig aan dieselfde pad nie, ref jy net.
Okay,
Jy
boem.
outomaties.
Nee, jy kan ry.
Outomaties wil jy ref nie, maar gewone ry by ref, want jy sal maklik hier oop.
Dankie.
Jy kan wegdruk ook, anders sal jy klaar.
Okay, baie dankie.
Teken spring.
Oh, look at this one. He's looking at you. Just watch them, Kevin, man. Oh my word. Oh, goodness.
Yes.
Such a roadblock. Lamb chop. Lamb chop.
Tell Josh is not too fucking...
Watch it. Oh, he's crossing the road. Oh, he's coming running. I'm gonna take him home. Cute. Yo, the whole road is full of sheep. Oh my word, look at this. Run, sheep, run. I've never seen such of the sheep in my life. Oh my word. Can't I touch one? Oh. Sheepy. It's 4. Oh my word, look at this. 9 sheep. Bah. Cute. The whole road for almost what, a kilometer of sheep. I've never seen such a lot. It's more than a kilometer of sheep. Phew. This is a major roadblock, this.
Here's a black scarf or something.
It's a brown sheep. He's a bokkie or what? No, he's a sheep. Oh, there's some big guys here. 9 sheep. They're mowing the grass outside. He's mowing they're mowing the grass. Look at him. Oh my word. Check this amount of sheep here. Oh goodness. Oh my word. I've never ever came across this in my life. I need to touch one. And this is why it's important to get out. Get out of your house, get traveling. No matter how near, no matter how far. The experiences you get to see and to live is never to be forgotten. And now we were really on our way to Sutherland. And in the distance we could see the town, which was laying ahead of us. But the road was still quite a bit to travel to see this little town of Sutherland. Of course, it was really very cold in Sutherland, which is the coldest place in South Africa, I am sure. But yes, the sun was out, there was no wind, it was just the chill in the air, very cold. But just a drive through the town to see what it looks like. We made a reservation at the Sutherland Hotel, which also had a little restaurant inside, which was very convenient. After checking in, we took a walk around town and we came across this place called Die Boergat, which is just basically around the corner. So here are old farming equipment, all rusting. Everything was cemented in for the metal thieves not to take. But it was quite pretty to look at. The old church, we obviously couldn't go in because you need to make a booking beforehand and tell them you're coming. So we could basically only walk around the church on the outside. Then we found a house which has been turned into a clothing chain store, and the only butcher in the town which sells the best meat ever. The next morning we took a drive to the observatory because we had tickets booked for that night to do some stargazing, and we like to go beforehand in the day to look where the places are if we're going somewhere at night. And we found that the observatory was 19 kilometers away from where we stayed. There were no street lights, so it would be absolutely dark when we travel on this road late in the evening. And it was a good thing we did this, because we would have never been able to find this place in the dark. So yes, it was the best thing we could do ever. After checking out where we should be, the evening, etc., we left there, and then we went to a place called Obergpass. So we found this place on the map, and with every trip of ours we have to do some gravel. We have to find places which has been hardly ever discovered, roads that are hardly ever driven on. People don't even know these roads exist. So off we go on gravel once more. At the end of this pass, which was about 30 kilometers later, we were met with the beautiful pictures of flowers dotting all over the Karoo land, and then the most beautiful sight ever at the top of the pass. Once you reach the peak, you look over to the Tankwa National Reserve, which was such a beautiful sight to see, such openness, such beauty, which is totally undiscovered by the everyday person in the street. So we have driven over a pass called Obergpass just outside Sutherland, and at the top of the pass, this is the view we saw. So my camera could not pick up the beauty of this area. I don't think any camera can really, unless you got the very best of the best. But this place is really something else to see. And the silence, again, as I always mention in my videos when we go to these remote places, is something else. A bird, maybe, but nothing else that will disturb your peace. After spending a little while on the top of the pass, it was time to head back. So the road back is not as easy as coming down. So I would suggest, if you do decide to travel this pass, have a vehicle with high clearance, preferably a 4x4, because 4x4 was engaged while climbing up again. This pass is about 11 kilometers long. Most of the pass is quite easy to travel on. The little bit going up from the bottom where we were is a bit hazardous because of the loose stones. It's about 3 kilometers or so of loose stones, Furthermore, the pass is relatively easy.
Right, so that was it.
At the top of this hill, you'll see some sheep grazing, and the view the sheep has while grazing is spectacular. Once we reached the town of Sutherland again, it was time to refuel, and we refueled at a garage, which was on the road, or should I say on the pavement. It is the quirkiest garage ever, but it must have been the first one ever in Sutherland. So you just drive up along it and it'll refuel for you. Later that evening, we went to the SALT telescope. So let me give you a bit of a tip. When you do a night view, it's outside, not inside. Dress warmly. It was -5 when we went to do the night stargazing. Dress warm, very warm, because you're out in the open. The day visit to the telescope gives you an inside view of how the telescope works, but the night telescope viewing gives you insight to the stars, the planets, the Milky Ways, etc. These are some pictures I took inside the observatory. There were many, many more. I didn't want to bore you with all of them, but it's really worth a visit. And please remember, please do your bookings online. They do not sell tickets at the reception. These tickets are available. If you mail them, they'll give you the website address. It is really worth it and really inexpensive. There's a lot of information if you're interested in stargazing. So we actually got to see a few planets up in the sky through the telescope. The next morning we left and we went to visit my friend on the farm. She has my favorite dogs, of course, which are Rottweilers, and I had to go and say hello to her too. So we spent the whole morning playing with dogs and catching up. These dogs are really the best behaved that I've seen for a long time. And yes, she was pleased we popped in to visit them. But the funniest of all on the farm is the old farm vehicle, which has no door. They ride around with this vehicle on the farm. It is hilarious. Upon leaving, we traveled back to the main road, and we found a tortoise trying to cross the road, so we helped him across. And then we were on our way home and back to meet the snow-capped mountains. So when you're on retirement, take time out, get in your vehicle, go somewhere, enjoy it. There's a lot to see, a lot to do, but do not sit at home and wait for another day to pass. We really enjoyed this trip. It was worth it. Doesn't matter how cold it was. So thank you for watching this video with us, and I hope you enjoyed. If you liked it, please press the like button, share it and subscribe. It is free to subscribe. There is no cost. You'll be getting the next video on our next trip. Thank you for watching.